All right.
Big stretch.
3, 2, 1. Hey, that was good. And we're live and rolling. Welcome in to $1 Million Radio episode 3.1. We're not having to redo this one so far.
0.0.
3.0.
No 0.1s, please.
Knock on wood.
Please.
Knock on wood.
Yes, please.
So, welcome in, everybody. $1 Million Radio episode 3. Skylar and Jacob with you. Hopefully this one is
Jay Fizzle.
Jay Fizzle?
Jay Fizzle.
Jay Fizzle and Skip Sizzle.
Yep, we're with you. We're Whizzle. I'm sorry, that was the widest thing I've probably said this week.
I mean, we're just, we've been watching some Snoop Dogg videos and stuff. No.
Too many, yeah. He's washed. He's cooked.
September 9th is today's day. We got Monday Night Football, Jets and Niners. Are we going to make picks? I don't think that this is going to come out. Definitely not going to come out in time for the game tonight, but.
No. I mean, I think 49ers are probably going to win, but Aaron Rodgers is going to have a great game.
Think so?
Yeah. I think
he's going to come out and be good to go.
Unless he's just absolutely washed.
Yeah.
But
well,
I don't think he is. I think he would know if he was, and he'd be
retired.
The
NFL tweeted a couple weeks ago a picture of Aaron Rodgers that said year 20 loading or something like that.
That's crazy.
And somebody quoted it with a clip from Shane Gillis, one of his stand-up specials. And it was like, hey, man, you know when you're at a friend's house and they got like a 15-year-old dog, and the dog walks in and everybody's just like, hey, welcome in. Look who it is. Yeah. And he's just struggling to freaking walk.
He has tumors on his heart and everything. Yeah.
I mean, I hope Aaron Rodgers does great, man. I really do. I think the Jets will be pretty good as I move my mic.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that he would know when it's time, but maybe he needs to have the bad season every old head has before they retire, But
Tom Brady never had his bad season. They still made it to the playoffs, and then he just got cooked by Dallas in Tampa. That was his last game. But
it's like wrestling. You got to go out with a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're Peyton Manning. But, I mean, in wrestling, the thing is, after you've had a storied career for like 30 to 40 years, or if you're Ric Flair, like 60 years, usually your final match is like a loss. You lay down on the mat and get pinned.
Undertaker lost at WrestleMania. Oh. Shawn Michaels lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Oh my gosh, those two matches 2 years in a row, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, that was crazy. And like, it never got 5 stars by this wrestling guy. It's like the Wrestling Observer. His name's Dave Meltzer. He gives all these matches 5 stars because he's a big AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling glazer. But he never gave that Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25 and 26 matches. He never gave them 5 stars, and they were definitely deserving of 5 stars, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Those were iconic matches. When Undertaker flew over the top rope and fucking almost nearly broke his neck and everything. Remember that?
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels pulls the cameraman and the Undertaker lands on him. That was just an iconic match. And I was a little kid when that was happening. I thought the Undertaker was going to lose and the streak was going to be broken. There's so much aura.
I didn't realize you were such a big wrestle head.
Dude, there's so much aura behind the Undertaker, bro. Dude, I think they wanted to see if... I think they asked Randy Orton if he wanted to break it when he was the Legend Killer. And then they also asked Edge to break it.
Yeah.
So... And Edge said no. I'm sure Randy said no as well. I may be mistaken, misunderstood, but I thought they had asked him to break it.
Who was it that ended Undertaker's streak? Was it Brock Lesnar, maybe?
Yes, I watched that live. I think that was 2016. That was like the best year ever. No, it may have been 2013. I forgot which year that was. I think it's 2013 actually, but 2016 was still a goated year. If I'm being honest.
2016 was like the last great year before everything went downhill.
Didn't Kobe retire that year?
Yeah.
And then Steph and the Warriors go 73-9.
LeBron has to come back.
And then that was last year with KD Warriors.
Who won the Super Bowl that year?
Well, Peyton Manning won it the year before, right? With the Broncos.
I think that was 14.
Oh, okay.
I think 2016.
Maybe in Patriots, right?
I think 2015 was when the Seahawks tried to throw it at the goal line instead of running it with Marshawn Lynch, and the Patriots picked him off. 2016,
Super Bowl 50 was 2016.
Who was it?
And that was when Denver beat Carolina. I was right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, that was when
that was a blowout.
Yeah, and like Cam Newton didn't fall on the ball and all that stuff. I mean,
2016 was a good year. Man.
Was.
That was the year I graduated high school and I had one last summer at home, and then I moved here for a year. And then
we probably met that time, right?
Yeah. So I moved here for a year, and in 2017 I started working at Sonox Studios. And
shout out Frank and Joe.
Shout out Frank Shedrick.
Yep.
And that's a good place to work.
But
I miss that spot.
2016 was a great year. I don't know when Brock Lesnar broke the streak, though. It may have been 2016. If it wasn't, that makes it even better year.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, honestly, there's a cool story of how John Cena should have been the one to break it, because every wrestling fan wanted a John Cena heel turn because they hated him as a good guy, until he's gone, of course. But at the time when he was at the peak of his, being a good guy and being a face and all that, they were like, we want Cena to turn heel, right? But also, people did not want the streak to ever be broken, right? People think that was like the end and the death of WrestleMania and WWE as we know it. But if you'd had John Cena break the streak, you would have gotten both, and we would have had people conflicted as hell. Because if you had like The Undertaker go fall down the ring, he falls on the ref, and the ref is unconscious, because apparently refs get unconscious for any move in like history. I could
bump into them and they fall
and
out
they're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, but you have that, and then John Cena, he smiles and gets a steel chair and just goes at The Undertaker. And then the ref miraculously wakes up, because, they always go unconscious for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, the bad guys can do anything they want. And then you have him pin The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That would have been a better storyline. Like, Brock didn't need the streak, in my opinion. But it adds to Brock's legend as the beast incarnate,
Yeah.
So, I am a big wrestling fan.
Did you watch this year's WrestleMania?
No.
Did you see any of the highlights or anything?
I think I may have, but refresh me.
The main event is what I'm getting at. It was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
Cody won, yeah.
Cody won, but there was like a 10, 15 minute spot in the match where like Undertaker comes out, The Rock comes out, John Cena comes out, and whenever John Cena came out, he took his shirt off and took his hat off. He had a big old bald spot.
Yeah.
He had like he was still, he's still ripped, but
he's smaller though.
He's getting where like his muscles are kind of saggy a little bit, and it was just like, damn.
And he's smaller for, honestly, did you know this? It's kind of weird when you think about it. The Rock and John Cena only have a 5-year age gap.
Really?
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
I think The Rock's like 53, and John.
I mean, if you think about it, John Cena debuted in what, like 2002, when he was like a rapper type.
Well, he didn't. I think he debuted more in 2004, like with that persona.
Yeah.
But he had, obviously, when you're wrestling, you do stuff for years before.
Yeah.
He was in like what's that called? Like the trunks and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, like he was that kind of
the underwear.
Yeah. He was that new to it. But yeah, I mean, there's not a big age gap, but it feels like The Rock was so popular in the late 90s, and then with Cena coming in like the mid 2000s, like 2004 or so, it seems like a bigger gap than what their age is. You know what I mean? Like you would think that they were like 10 years apart or so, but they're literally pretty close in age.
I think there's a like very, very off topic, but I think there's something similar age gap wise between Anne Frank in the World War II times and Martin Luther King Jr.
You're right.
You expect them to be, the 40s and the 60s were like 20 years, but they were pretty much the same age. I don't know.
We could go down a huge rabbit hole of like Egyptians and the woolly mammoths being around the earth at the same time. I mean, it's crazy, but we won't hop into that. We're going to hop into some football today.
Yeah, instead, let's get to week 1 NFL recap, man. Football's back, Jacob. We've been saying that for 2 weeks, but it feels like it's officially back now. We're in the, not necessarily the heat of things, but we got college football getting into week 3 this week. NFL just had their opening week. We saw a lot of good games and a lot of surprising, dud type of games.
And I do have a caller on the line. This is the first $1 million caller on the line. So we got Griffin. He's a good friend of mine, and he's also a big fan of the Bengals. And I'm a pretty good fan of the Bengals as well. Griffin, are you there?
I am there, sir, buddy.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Griff?
Doing pretty good. The weather's nice outside. It's
It
almost
is.
fall. It's perfect.
My
It's
gosh,
perfect.
it just sounds amazing the way you're describing it. So,
Oh yeah.
I did not get a chance to watch the Bengals game. Can you tell me what had happened? Because you can summarize it. I mean, you can get into some detail if you want, but
Griff's a big Bengals guy, by the way, chat.
He's a big Cincinnati guy.
Yeah.
You love the
Oh,
Reds,
yeah.
don't you?
I do. Even though we've sucked my whole life, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about why the Bengals lost 16-10 to the Patriots.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to coaching.
Really?
And yeah, because this is Zach Taylor's 5th year as head coach, and he's got a record of 37, 45, and 1.
Oh,
And I feel like in 5 years in the NFL, you should have a better record than that.
I understand.
And I get it. We've lost coordinators, but even though the only thing he's really given us is his playoff record, which is 5-2. That's the only thing
If they make the
keeping this man
playoffs.
afloat nowadays.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow and the Bengals did beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, didn't they?
Well, we did, but we also had an experienced offensive coordinator.
That's
and this
fair.
year we've got a rookie offensive coordinator who was our QB's coach last year.
The Bengals
So I feel
offensive
like
coordinator went to
That's
the
putting a lot of
Titans.
pressure on his plate.
Yeah,
And we ran the ball collectively 16 times yesterday. That's not going to win a football game.
Really, is that what kind of did it? What was that? Was that too little running or too much running?
It's too little.
Oh, okay.
And they had probably about 6 or 7 more minutes in time of possession than we did.
Oh, okay. So you think this says more about the state of the Bengals or more of the Patriots entering a new era? With Bill Belichick, retired and a new coach coming in and all that. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like it's the start of a new era. And, of course, I want to see Gerard Mayo succeed because, go Vols, of course.
yeah. Go Vols.
But I feel like yesterday shows more of the weakness in the, our offensive line and the play calling that's going on in Cincinnati.
So, okay, you make great points. Tell me what you think the postseason is going to look like for the Bengals this year. Just based off, this week 1 game. You don't have a lot to go off of, but losing to the Patriots in your season opener, you have Joe Burrow as your quarterback. I wouldn't feel too confident, right? What do you think?
Yeah, of course, with all the, the injury history over the last couple of years, it does, make me worry, hey, if he gets hurt again, we're screwed and we're going to miss the playoffs again.
Let's hope he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
And that his hair grows back to be nice and brown.
See, yeah, that might be the problem.
Yeah, it's the curse of the
he
frosted tips.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to throw the Slim Shady haircut on.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he said he was going to let it grow out a little bit and let it get some frosted tips.
It might look crazy, but, in my experience with the frosted tips, it never worked out.
Griffin, are you willing to make a bet today on the $1 Million Radio podcast that if Joe Burrow and the Bengals get to the Super Bowl, that you will get frosted tips?
You know what? If we make it, and golly, I don't want to put that on my shoulders if we lose, and I still got to do it. But
no, if y'all get to the Super Bowl.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so if the Bengals get to the Super Bowl this year, Griffin Watts is going to get frosted tips. We're gonna clip it and chat.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here. Okay, thank you, Griffin. And is there anything else from the game that we should take away, or do you have a prediction for next week? Because aren't they playing the Chiefs next week?
We are unfortunately playing the Chiefs in Arrowhead
Unfortunately,
Stadium,
that doesn't sound very promising. You said unfortunately.
The Chiefs are favored 6.5.
A touchdown. Okay.
It's at 6.5. I feel like it's going to go to at least 8.5 or 9.5 by the end of the week.
Well, Griffin, is this just kind of like how do I put this? It seems like every start of the season, injuries or not, the Bengals just always
just
come out
suck. I don't
slow.
know what it is.
They always come out
in the
0-2,
preseason this
0-3.
year, we went 0-3, and
Yeah.
then we lose our first game.
Mm-hmm.
So can this just
I
be
forgot.
where we end this
I forgot.
crap?
I forgot y'all started 0-3 last year. That's crazy.
I think it was 0-2 the year before.
Okay.
Because Joe played week 1 last season, and then the hand injury started becoming an issue. So I think we started either 0-3 or 1-4 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because we only finished 8-8 behind the Jake Browning masterclass of a backup quarterback. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, so you think? So you do think that the Chiefs are going to win by 10 points at least?
I'd say
If they play how they played, right?
Yeah. Right now, I'm probably going to say 31-20,
Okay.
31-24 if we're lucky and can score more than 10 points.
Okay. Well, all right, chat. So Griffin's calling it for next week that the Bengals will lose by 10 to 13 points, but also he's calling it that if the Bengals do miraculously get to the Super Bowl, he is frosting his tips.
Which I will say, if we do make it to the Super Bowl, we will win a rematch against Kansas City. I'm calling it.
Okay.
In the playoffs.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
lose this week.
Okay. But if it comes to the conference championship again, it's on, ain't it?
It's on.
All right. Well, I think that could be a transition for the hardest Bengals edit.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you,
It's on.
Yeah.
Griffin said so.
Hey, I know you remember back in 2021, I was the only one saying it all year.
Yes, you were. You predicted
Nobody
that.
believed me.
Yes. Well, I know I didn't know enough about football to believe you, but you called it. So I respect you, Griffin, and I appreciate you calling in. Let me call you and take some time out of your day to talk about, the Bengals. I'm actually going in October to see him play the Ravens. So
Word. Hopefully that'll be a win for us. You gotta wear orange and black for me.
I'm actually going for the Ravens. I like Lamar Jackson, so I'm gonna wear purple.
You're breaking my heart.
Don't worry, Mackenzie will go for the Bengals.
Sounds like a plan, then.
All right, Griffin, you want to say anything before you get off here?
All right. Yeah, I got you. Hot take here. I know we've been talking about the Bengals.
Yep.
But I feel like our Tennessee Vols might just go 11-1 and give Georgia a run for their money.
So okay, I love
like
that. So
let's go.
After how their offense looked this weekend.
Okay, so you think Georgia's going to win, but you think it's hopefully going to be a run for their money, right? Is that what you're saying?
It's going to be close.
Okay.
What I'm hearing from Griffin is that Tennessee, other than Georgia, is going to win every damn game.
That's true.
For real.
What I'm hearing is that Griffin is going to frost his tips if Tennessee gets to the college football playoff championship. Is that right?
You know what?
It's the most dangerous words in Griffin's vocabulary.
You know what?
You know what?
I'll hit you with some orange and black if they do.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay. So, okay. I like that. Okay. So,
Halloween's coming in January this year.
yeah. So, you think Tennessee's going to go 11-1, potentially lose to Georgia, but you think there's a good chance that we go 11-1 with just how you've seen the past 2 weeks? We dogged NC State. No doubt.
Yeah, dude, I'll be honest with you. In my heart, I was like, we'll win by 40.
Yeah.
But as a realistic Tennessee fan my whole life, I'm used to heartbreak. I'm used
Exactly.
to some BS happening.
Exactly.
So it's
I said that on the podcast. I was like, look, when Skylar was talking about us hanging or with us playing Chattanooga and then maybe potentially hanging with us, you have to see it from the perspective of us being traumatized Tennessee fans. We lost to Georgia State and BYU,
Dude, for real.
So, you have to see it through that lens. But honestly, I thought NC State would have been a little closer. I predicted 10 to 14 points, 2 touchdowns or so. But
Yeah.
I did not expect us to win by 41 points. So
Yeah, that was a major curveball.
I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far. At least you're happy with what the Vols are doing, and maybe the Bengals will pick it up throughout the season once Joe gets back in his groove. He's been out, so we'll see.
Yeah. And I was also going to bring up, I do feel like the Boise State slander needs to end.
Oh my gosh, dude! We agree.
After that Oregon loss the other night, which
my boy Genty,
by the way,
dude, we agree.
That kick return they had.
So
clearly see he fumbled.
So Skyler has actually been talking about Genty so much lately, right? Skyler,
since before the season started, technically before week 1 in our first episode, I said, remember the name Ashton Genty.
Three touchdowns and 192 yards rushing is insane, right? Is that not crazy?
It's very crazy.
I mean, like, that's very impressive. And honestly, I'm surprised Oregon's ranked number 9th still.
Listen to this. Griffin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ashton Genty has had 45 carries this season in 2 games, 459 yards. That's a 10.2 average. And 9 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns. And that's against Georgia Southern and then Oregon this past Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know, with Georgia Southern, them scoring so many points and kind of keeping it close with Boise, we didn't know how this one would pan out. But, Oregon, they beat Idaho by 10 points, so that wasn't the most promising performance they could put on. So them coming together, I didn't expect it to be as close of a game as it was. I wasn't expecting Oregon to blow them out either. But Ashton Genty rushing for 3 touchdowns, oh my gosh! I mean that's insane. It took a last 2-second field goal for Oregon to win, and Oregon's top 10 team in the country apparently, according to these polls, which I do not agree with. So
yeah,
we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Which I was gonna say, I watched Genty, tear it up last season, but I think I'm thanking God that he didn't fall victim to the transfer portal like 99% of the other players in the country.
Yeah, right. So did he play at Boise last season?
Yeah, I think he's a junior this year.
And I believe he probably had about 1,200, 1,300 yards rushing last season, which I could be wrong because I'm not looking at it.
So he's
1,347 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's more. That sounds about right.
So he's almost matched his season total last year in touchdowns already.
Yeah.
He'll probably break it against Portland State this weekend.
Yeah.
God. Not to call out Portland State, but that's going to be... I don't get why all these FCS teams are getting scheduled, man. Especially with how college looks nowadays. Like, I get they're giving the universities millions and millions of dollars to play them. Jeez.
Yeah, we'll get into how Notre Dame paid Northern Illinois University
$1.4 million.
Oh, yeah.
$1.4 million.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's insane. But hey, Griffin.
Shout out to NIU. I remember when they were good, like maybe 10 or so years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were ever good. I'd never heard of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've been more of a sports guy than I have in the past, decade. So
yeah.
I want you to come on the podcast sometime, Griffin. We're gonna have old boy Griff on. Yeah, we are.
Trust me, I got y'all.
Yeah, I'll text you. Maybe we can get you on next week or so. But
just bring your own mic.
Yeah, or I probably have an extra one too if you need. But we're gonna get you on. We're gonna get off here. But hey, thank you for letting me call you, and we can't wait to talk to you soon more about sports.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Anything else you want to say?
Go Vols, by God.
Go Vols.
Amen, brother. Awesome, man.
Shout out Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin. He's a dog.
He is. He's a hell of a bassist, hell of a musician, but more importantly, he's a hell of a person.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough good things to say about him, but that was good hearing his perspective. He brought up a lot of stuff we were going to talk about, but you heard it here. Cincinnati is not going to beat the Chiefs next week, according to Griffin. I probably do agree with that. I would never bet against Patrick Mahomes with my money, but I could say whatever I want. So maybe the Bengals will get it together and beat the Chiefs.
It'll be interesting to see where the money goes throughout the week.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something I can look at just yet on FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said last week on the podcast, all the money was on Kentucky to cover, and South Carolina, who struggled against the Old Dominion,
weird,
dominated Kentucky.
That's insane.
At Kroger Field.
Did you say like they know more than we do?
Yeah.
Was it about that game?
Not necessarily. They always do. But a lot of times you'll see them bait people into like,
oh yeah, like 90% or 10,000 people have bet this.
well, I'm more like the line. So like we saw South Carolina struggle against Old Dominion. Kentucky won like 31-0 or something like that against Southern Miss in week 1. And so then they're hosting South Carolina last week, and they put the line at 9.5 in favor of Kentucky, thinking that when you see that line, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, Kentucky's going to win by double digits.
Yeah.
I've got to bet this.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, they just take all your money and South Carolina wins.
Yeah.
So
it's big sports book at it, bro.
it's
Big sports book.
I'm interested to see. Oh wait, I was gonna see the line the stats aren't up for FanDuel just yet. For the Bengals and Chiefs. The line is already it was 5.5. So the line is 5.5 in favor of Kansas City. That'll be around 4:30 Eastern time Sunday afternoon. That'll be a very interesting game. All eyes will be on that game. And I bet throughout the week, all the money goes on Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
And I bet, barring, injuries and all that, the Bengals make it a close game.
I hope so. I love a competitive game. Look, I called the Ravens winning last week. I was wrong. We'll get into it later. But we'll get into it in a second. But let's talk about some college. I just wanted to talk about some NFL to get Griffin on the line, but we'll backtrack. Let's go to some college football, and then we'll transition back into some NFL. So let's do some reviews of this last week.
I mean, I think the game that's on most of our viewers' minds, the chat, whatever you want to call yourselves, the chat wants to hear us talk about Tennessee.
Yeah.
Just absolutely dogging NC State.
Yeah. I mean,
41-point win.
Yeah.
The line was like, I think it closed. So it started out like Tennessee 9.5. And then as the game got closer, the line was moving in NC State's favor. I think it closed at like maybe 6.5, 7.5, something like that. So all the money was coming in on Tennessee. They started trying to pull the line in favor of NC State.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry if you bet on NC State, guys. I mean, I really am. And
the NC State Twitter was going crazy all week, just saying like how Tennessee was overrated. They weren't going to be able. Who's James Pierce Jr.? He's not going to be able to get past I don't know who, number 74. They were like, learn his name, and I never did, but the refs learned his name.
Yeah.
The refs learned his name because they were throwing flags on him all night.
It wasn't me that learned his name, but it was the refs.
Yeah, it was number 74.
That's funny.
But yeah, Tennessee, man.
You and I had talked about this. I asked Skylar, and all of you guys comment in the comment section. Was I wrong or was I right when I said Tennessee was going to win by 2 touchdowns? So I think I'm wrong because I was not expecting us to win by, 41 points, right?
I don't think anybody was expecting us to win by 41 points.
I thought we were just going to win by, 10 to 14 points is what I said on the podcast. But hey, I'm glad I was wrong in that sense,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you would have been wrong if Tennessee won by, a touchdown or maybe ended up losing. I think whenever somebody says we're going to win by 2 possessions, anywhere from 10 to 17 points, I generally look at that as like we're going to win by 2 touchdowns at least.
Yeah.
You know?
Like with the opposing team at best, at their best.
Like NC State's best game will have them lose by 14 points.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I also said it was going to be close throughout the third quarter maybe, and then we'd pull away at the end. Boy, it was not close to begin with, right?
No.
I mean,
I don't remember what the score was at halftime.
20-3, I think, or 21-3.
Yeah. We only held them to 3 points for like forever.
Yeah.
And then they ended up scoring a touchdown in the fourth later on in the game when I think we had our backups in at that point. But even the backups look good, man.
That's good. Get them as much reps as possible.
One thing that got my juices flowing, Jacob, was our defense. Not only we dominated the line of scrimmage, both defensive line and offensive line. But on defense, our front seven was absolutely bullying NC State. And that's one thing that I mentioned looking at the NC State and Western Carolina game. NC State just didn't look physical enough.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they were getting overpowered necessarily by Western Carolina, but they just looked like they weren't ready for a team like Tennessee.
Yeah.
And especially with how all 11 guys, this is what gets me so excited. All 11 guys on our defense just absolutely swarmed the ball every play.
Mm-hmm.
Every time NC State got the ball in somebody's hands, there were at least 3 or 4 players around them every time. And I mean, they broke off a couple big plays. I think his name is, can't remember his first name, but Concepcion, number 10, the wide receiver for NC State.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good athlete. He had a couple big plays here and there, but overall we shut him down.
Is he a studio gangster, in the words of Charles Barkley? He's a decent player on a bad team, makes him look better.
Possibly. But I mean, I don't know exactly how NC State is going to pan out. Maybe they're
they're not a top 25 team. They're not. They were not 24th ranked. I mean, it's good to say we beat a 24th ranked team, but
you know who else is in a top 25 team that's still in the top 25?
Notre Dame. Yep. And I don't know if I'm ever saying that right. Notre Dame.
No, like you're saying no. Okay. Notre Dame.
Well, Northern Illinois said no.
Yeah.
You know, I can believe, but I'm shocked that they are still ranked. They're number 18 in the country after losing.
We're number 5. Losing at home to a school you paid $1.4 million to, only put up 14 points. And that was one thing I said after watching their first game with Texas A&M. Neither offense or neither team really just like looked good to me. I mean,
the eye test failed.
Yeah. Like I said before, Notre Dame had a couple big runs that basically won them the game. You take those 2 plays out, I mean, Texas A&M might have won that game. It wouldn't have been a 10, 13 point win in favor of Notre Dame. But I mean, of course, they're not going to knock Notre Dame out of the top 25. It's so pitiful. And if you don't mind pulling up the Fighting Irish schedule, we'll see like if they even have any more competition the rest of the year.
I doubt it.
I mean, it's pitiful.
Was Northern Illinois' competition? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Okay, so next week they play Purdue, and guys, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Purdue won. If I'm being completely honest.
Notre Dame is favored 11.5 in that game at Purdue.
Do you know what they were favored for Northern Illinois? It was probably something astronomical.
I think it was probably at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably something crazy like that. Then they play Miami, Ohio, not University of Miami. No, they just play Miami, Ohio. And then they play number 19 at this point, Louisville. And then they play
L.
You think
L.
So yeah, okay.
Is it at Louisville?
No.
Okay, in South Bend. L. I don't care.
And then play Stanford. We'll see. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to think. I'd have to see them win.
Are those the only like competitive games?
No, there's Georgia Tech coming up.
Georgia Tech, okay. L.
Okay, yeah. Then they play Navy, and then they play Florida State. L.
I think both teams are going to lose that game.
yeah. There's no real winner of the Florida State Notre Dame game. Yeah. Then they play Virginia. So, I mean, who knows?
Virginia sucks.
Yeah. Then they play Army.
L.
And then they play USC. L. Yeah. So Notre Dame should be out of the top 25 within the next 3 or 4 weeks.
At best, Notre Dame is going to go 7-5.
Yeah.
At best.
At best. Yeah.
Maybe 8-4.
Notre Dame sucks, guys.
Yeah.
I cannot emphasize how stupid it is that they're number 18. I mean, look,
so much bias goes into that.
It is ridiculous.
It's so sad.
And I was telling my dad kind of how what you were talking about. I don't know how they could be top 5 or top 4 if they're not in a conference. I think if the scheduling went into it, or like with the seeds and all that stuff, if they thought they were a top 4 team, they still wouldn't be eligible to be that. I wouldn't think. I mean, I don't know how that works, but We'll see. I don't think we're gonna have to need that conversation anytime soon. Should Notre Dame be a top 4 seed? I don't think we're gonna need that conversation.
No, I don't think. At least for this season, I don't think that's gonna be anything that we're gonna have to be struggling with to get through. But there are some other. I mean, there's looking at the slate, Jacob. There's not a whole lot that is exciting me in college football week 3. Tennessee hosts Kent State. It's like a 7:45 kickoff Saturday night. Tennessee favored by 47.5. I mean, that's probably the biggest line we've seen in quite some time for Tennessee.
You keep saying, according to the video game, that Kent State have some dogs on that team.
I mean, I struggled with Kent State. It wasn't no 47-point win.
That's operator error.
It probably is. It probably is. That was one of the first games I played once I got the game. Now I can beat anybody.
Okay, he's cool.
I'm North Carolina. I haven't played it in a few weeks, but North Carolina on a dynasty. Started out as the Boise State offensive coordinator. Got introduced to my boy Genty, and then went to North Carolina as a head coach. And
you can play as a coach in the game.
Well, like you coach the team, like you're picking the plays and playing as the guys on the field. But anyways, won an Natty. I'm on my
where's the ring?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Right here, buddy. You got one of these? You got one of these?
Hey, we need Photoshop. We need someone in the chat Photoshop that.
I want to put a ring pop on my hand.
Yeah. Hey, that's worth more than what that video game ring is.
All right. I mean, sentimental value at least.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, there's not a whole lot I'm looking at or looking forward to this week. We got LSU number 16 at South Carolina. LSU's favored by 7.5 here on this Monday afternoon.
I would think LSU would win that one. I mean, I thought Kentucky would beat South Carolina. They didn't. So anything could happen. By LSU's probably going to win. I'd say.
Keeping it within a touchdown, though, South Carolina might be able to do. Number 6, Missouri hosts number 24, Boston College. That might be the only ranked versus ranked matchup this weekend.
Arizona versus Kansas State.
Oh, okay. There's another one then. What's the line on that, if you can find that?
I don't know the line, but I believe they're 20-14 was what the seeds are. So Arizona's number 20 and Kansas State's number 14 is what.
Well, Missouri is ranked ahead of Tennessee. Tennessee's ranked number 7. Missouri's number 6. They're favored by 16.5 points hosting Boston College, who is number 24 now. Boston College worked their way into the top 25.
Beating Florida State. I'm sure they won their matchup this past week.
Probably.
I would say so. If
they played a small school.
Arizona is okay. So Arizona is +7 for -110 odds.
Is it at K-State?
I don't. I think it's Arizona at K-State. I think so.
So Missouri -16.5 hosting Boston College. That was the exact same line when Florida State hosted Boston College 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
On a Monday night, Labor Day. And we know what happened with that game.
Florida State fans are still recovering.
Castellanos might come out. I mean, I haven't watched Missouri this year. They hadn't played anybody yet. This will be kind of like the NC State matchup for Tennessee. Maybe they come out and dog them, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would probably put my money on Boston College to cover 16.5. That's just a lot of points. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how good Missouri's defense is. Boston College did what they wanted to pretty much against Florida State a couple weeks ago. And Missouri's offense, I mean, we'll just see. Eli Drinkowitz, head coach, can't stand him.
Why?
For Missouri.
Is there a why?
He's just, how do I put this, man? He's just one of those guys that's never won anything, and he'll talk so much smack. Like last year, Tennessee was kind of in a transition year. It was kind of just a filler year between Hendon and Nico with Joe Milton there. And we played at Missouri, and I don't remember exactly what was going on, but Eli Drinkowitz was talking smack to Tennessee before the game. And then
didn't they beat us?
Yeah, they won. They did beat us. and I can't remember
that
exactly.
changes this year, baby.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we play him this year, but
Regardless,
yeah, I mean, maybe we play him in the SEC championship. Who knows? I doubt it, but
yeah, because they're not going to make it. No, I'm just kidding. I can't believe they're number 6 in the country. I mean, good
Yeah.
for them, I guess. But
well, I mean, they're not going to be there for long.
no, they're not.
Being in the SEC, they're going to lose a couple games,
Mhm.
but.
You're always bound to.
Another SEC matchup this week. Number 1, Georgia plays at Kentucky. Georgia favored by 24.5 points.
Watch Kentucky just make it the absolute most competitive game of the week.
I think I may parlay Georgia minus 24.5 with South Carolina plus 7.5.
That's fair.
That might be a good little 2-leg parlay right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But not much else going on in college football this upcoming
Oregon
week.
and Oregon State, they play. And I don't know if Oregon State's that good. The Oregon State Beavers, I think.
Yeah.
But honestly, with how competitive it was, Boise State and Oregon, I mean, in-state rivalry, it may turn out to be more competitive than what we're thinking, you know?
Yeah.
Given that Oregon only won by a
Oregon-
field goal, I'm shocked they're still number 9th.
They're at Oregon State. Oregon favored by 16.5.
So,
I think that's an unlucky number.
or
We'll
I
see.
mean, odds are Oregon's probably going to win pretty convincingly, but
I mean, that's what we said about, or we didn't necessarily say that about the Boise State game this past week, but you take away a punt return for a touchdown.
mhm.
I mean, Oregon had to kick a field goal to win the game as time expired.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that after these 2 weeks of the games being pretty close and them kind of underachieving, maybe they come out this week versus an in-state rival and maybe they have a chip on their shoulder. I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to watch it, but I do think Oregon's probably going to win pretty convincingly. We'll see, though. And I'm not always right. I'm definitely not always right.
You had a few right picks this week.
I was right about Texas beating the hell out of Michigan, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that. I said Texas will not have to worry about losing to Michigan because Michigan is overranked. They're overrated. I'm sorry. You just won a national championship with 3 asterisks. But Texas is the better team. And I had no doubt about it. I had no doubt that Texas would absolutely dog Michigan. I'm sorry.
I had 3 picks that I was pretty confident in college football this past week. I only bet one of them, which was the Texas minus 6.5. I'm with you on that one. I just felt like Michigan wasn't going to be able to.
They're a shell of themselves.
Yeah, but my other 2 were South Carolina to cover. Can't remember. 9.5. They won outright at Kentucky, and then Boise State to cover against Oregon. I didn't think Boise State would be making it as close of a game as it was, but I mean, we saw. Can't count Genty out.
No, man.
He can't. He'll put the team on his back.
Genty for Heisman, right?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like
He's making a push, bro.
Him and Nico might be able to be in the Heisman race this year.
That's crazy.
That's
cool, though.
I might have to give me an Ashton Genty jersey, man.
Yeah, man. It was a fun week. I enjoyed watching all the games. I mean, I didn't watch as many as I probably could have. I think I did my best though. I think I watched enough. You know, I did not watch the Oklahoma-Houston game, but it was really close. You know, so we'll see what Oklahoma does coming up in the season. I know Tennessee plays them next week. The week after, the week after this week. So next week
we got Kennesaw State, and then
is it Kennesaw or is it Kent State?
2 different schools. It's Kennesaw State that we play.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
I thought Kent State. I didn't know if they were. I thought it was just Kent State. I didn't know.
I don't know where Kennesaw is, but Kent State is Kentucky State University or whatever.
Okay,
Kennesaw is somewhere in the Midwest.
and Oklahoma plays Kennesaw. What?
Let me see.
Let's see, because Tennessee plays Kent State this week. You can edit this out.
Nah, man, we're keeping it rolling. It shows you that we are not sticking to a script on the $1 Million Radio podcast. We're just seeing what happens. So Oklahoma plays Tulane at home, minus 13.5 Saturday afternoon. And Tennessee is playing it is Kent State.
It's different, bro. I told you.
What?
Kent State, you said it's Kentucky State. Kennesaw State is in Georgia.
Okay.
Well, I looked
Kent
it up
State.
on Google.
My bad.
I looked it up on Google.
My bad.
No, it's completely fine. It's
Chad,
okay.
don't clip it.
It's
Chad,
just
clip it.
you were just being wrong about it, but it's okay. I mean, Damn.
I'm not as prepared as maybe I should have been. It's okay.
I thought I heard you say Kennesaw State, and I was like, wouldn't they just say Kennesaw State? Why would they abbreviate to Kent State? I don't know if there's a T in there.
Anyways, chat, don't clip it. Chat, clip it. We clip everything.
We do edit.
Yeah.
Edit this out. No.
The only editing I do for this is cutting up the cameras. Everything just rolls through. But
yeah, well, Oklahoma barely beat Houston, and then they're going to have to play Tennessee next week, so I think Tennessee's going to blow them out the water. I'm sorry.
We'll see what the line
is.
As
a biased Tennessee fan, of course.
Maybe Oklahoma comes out and kills Tulane. I don't know. I don't know.
Kills Tulane.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But anyways, so that's a little preview into college football week 3 that we got.
Hell yeah.
Looking ahead to, looking forward to. Let's recap NFL this past week real quick. Week 1. We already talked about the Bengals falling to the Patriots 16-10. Miami won a nail biter against Jacksonville. There was a lot that went on before that game.
My friend Ben, he drums in my band and stuff, and we were actually rehearsing, and he asked, he's like, "Can I put the game on?" Because he's a Miami fan, a Miami Dolphins fan, of course. And so
Fins up.
And so we put it on, and he's not into sports betting, but I sent him a referral link to get onto DraftKings, and he got on DraftKings, and I think Miami was down, what was it, 14 or 17-3?
They were down 14-0 at one point, and then 14-3. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they were down, and he's like, "All right, I'm just gonna bet Miami to win." I was like, "Dude, that is so dumb." But I was ultimately wrong because
what were the odds at that point? Plus 300.
It was something like that. He won. He put $5 in. He won $18
nice
back. So I mean, it was a good win for him, and we were playing a song. We were playing The Pot by Tool.
Yeah. And
on the TV, he couldn't see it the way his drums were set up, but I saw Miami kick the field goal, and I pointed to him. I said, "They won." We were right in the middle of the breakdown of the song. Yeah.
No, that was a good game.
It really was. Tyreek Hill getting arrested.
Yeah, dude.
For a traffic violation?
Yeah, they didn't say, they hadn't really released any details about that. Apparently there were some, he was,
he's probably speeding. Who knows? His windows are probably tinted.
It happened a block away from the stadium. He's in his Lambo.
Oh my
and so he might have been coming around a curve too fast or something, but
it's Miami.
They pulled him over. The Miami State troopers, the dudes on the motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
They didn't even have a car to put him in. But they pulled him over. He said he kept his hands on the wheel the whole time, was never yelling, never cussing, anything like that, just trying to comply as much as he could.
Yeah.
And they basically forced him out of the car. And
bad look.
I don't know if there's a video. I've heard there's a video that showed them kicking him on the ground. I'm not sure about that.
I hope there's body cam.
Allegedly, don't sue me. You know what I'm saying? But
we'll see.
Definitely not a good look for the patrol officers. And I think 15 minutes after that happened, the guy that did it got put on administrative leave.
So, he may be like a diehard Dolphins fan. I was just trying to piss him off for the Jacksonville game.
Maybe, but there was also some teammates that came and tried to make sure Tyreek was okay. They also got detained. There was probably 3 or 4 of them in total that got detained at the time, but the Dolphins tweeted about 45 minutes to an hour before the game started that said everybody that was involved is safely in the stadium, active for today's game, or yesterday's game.
And Tyreek had that 80-yard touchdown, didn't he?
Yeah, and did you see his celebration?
Wait, did he do this?
He did the handcuffs behind his back.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I was probably playing a song by then, but we had it on.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good game. I'm glad that they won. Trevor Lawrence is a dog, too. I mean, he's it's the second year, right?
The Jags are third. I think it's third or fourth year. But
damn, I'm old.
Yeah.
I remember when he was at Clemson winning championships.
Damn. But one of the very few good games that were on yesterday, Chicago got gifted a win against Tennessee. Tennessee got up 17-0 at one point. It was 17-3 at halftime.
Yep.
Chicago kicked another field goal to make it 17-6.
Did you watch the game, or you had it on where you were working?
We had it on at work. It was 17-6, and then they scored a touchdown, and it was 17-13, and then they kicked the field goal and it's 17-16. And then right at the end of the game, Will Levis threw that.
I don't think throw is the right word.
He
Pitch.
tossed.
Yeah, he
He
pitched.
tossed a toss six.
That's stuff you do in like the schoolyard. Like, you know, when like
dude, as we were talking about before, he dropped back. He could have stepped up and probably had a running lane and took off running. It was third down.
he went right into the guy that was rushing the line.
Instead,
right
he stepped to the left, got in trouble, tried to pitch it to somebody who was already covered on the sideline, and then had the infamous meme that came out yesterday where he was on his knees with his hands on his head like, no, how could I?
I mean, hey, it happens. Sometimes you're in too deep. You're in over your head a little bit.
I don't know,
He
man.
definitely was in that position over his head.
Two teams that are in the state of Tennessee that are just completely out of touch with volunteer athletics, the Titans and the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm. Memphis doesn't count as Tennessee.
I mean,
Sorry, Skylar.
I mean, I'll still pull for them to do good.
I literally, I have a Jaw jersey. I love the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I love Jaw. He's a great player.
Memphis is its own state.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, but like, you get what I'm saying. It's like East Tennessee. We talked about it. East Tennessee,
The
West
51
Tennessee.
states of the U.S. include Memphis.
Yeah, the newest one.
But so yeah, Caleb Williams looked very, very unimpressive yesterday. He was trying to do a lot of things that he did in college that you're just not going to be able to do in the NFL. He'll learn. I think Caleb Williams is gonna do pretty good. I'm a little worried about him, you know, being with the Bears as a Packers fan, but I'm more worried about. I don't even want to say it.
I'll say it. So I have this written down on my phone. I'll read it. So I had it.
I don't want to say it.
Jordan Love injury as Eagles dominate the Packers.
Dominate, Jacob. Get out of here, Jacob.
Welcome Malik Willis.
Oh my!
Skylar has tickets to go see the Titans versus the Packers, right?
In Nashville
In 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And
So
Jordan,
not this week, but next.
and Jordan Love's injury, I mean, he's going to be out for more than 2 weeks, you know? And so he texted me, he's like, I swear to God, if I have to watch Malik Willis, I'm going to be so pissed.
Malik Willis versus Will Levis was not on my bingo card. And just think, we just picked Malik Willis up like 2 weeks ago, so it's not even like he's been with us for the last year or two, and
He's
been like a you know steady backup in case we needed him. Knows the system and all
He's
that.
green to the system.
We just got him from the Titans 2 weeks ago, and
it's a little homecoming. Oh, I bet they'll play a little tribute video, won't they?
yeah, all the mediocre plays he had when he got an opportunity.
Yeah.
But
Now he can do the mediocre plays for the Packers.
dude, I just saw him come in. Obviously, I was very, very scared whenever Love went down. We had 2 plays left. Malik Willis came in, dude. I've never seen somebody's eyes more wide than like he
Focused, the Adderall.
I don't know if it was focused or just sheer terror. He was. They showed like a close up of him before he took a snap, and I can't even get my eyes as wide as his was, dude. He was looking like this. I swear, it was bad.
Brazil just hit different, I think. It was a good game, though.
I mean, you put any backup quarterback in that situation, like you're not gonna do well. You know, 2 plays left, you got to score a touchdown at midfield.
Did he get injured because of the slippery field?
So there are a lot of people blaming the field. Obviously, the field conditions were god awful in that game.
So much slip.
People slipping everywhere. Even Jordan Love was dropping back and slipping on his drop backs and stuff before he made some throws. Jordan Love didn't look his best throughout the game. He made a few good throws. He made quite a few bad decisions / bad throws that he just didn't have on the money.
Didn't execute, yeah. But I mean, I think even
week one.
But the Eagles also, they had 2 interceptions and a fumble.
As I'm not even going to say as bad as Jordan Love looked, as mediocre as he looked, he still did better than Jalen Hurts.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions. I want to say he might have somebody had a fumble.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Jalen.
And they still won.
But he had another couple throws that should have been interceptions. You have the phantom holding call on Jair Alexander towards the end of the game. That was just, why would you call that? I think
Was he holding?
Devontae. No, he wasn't.
Oh,
there was contact, but it was one of those where Devontae Smith was coming out of his break, and they were both kind of fighting with each other. Never really held.
Yeah.
There was some contact. Devontae Smith slipped on the field, and I think that's what brought the flag out more than Jair holding. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Of course,
it's not even
field.
It's not even the loss, man. Like I know I said,
Packers about
34 and a half.
I had people slide up saying this dude is the most delusional.
That was obviously sarcasm.
I said he's the most Packers glazing man I've ever met. He says Jordan Love, my handsome prince.
My prince in shining armor. But to see him go down for
that's scary for the whole season.
Yeah.
One game versus the Eagles, you lose by 6 is fine.
Yeah. And I woke up the next day, like obviously we lost. I was kind of the loss was secondary at that point of the night. But then I woke up the next day, I had to go into work, and I'm laying in bed scrolling through Twitter, and I see like
tears.
No tears, but
the way you're describing it, it's like, my God.
Scrolling through Twitter, and I would see like slow-mo close-ups of the play where he got hurt, and his knee, like you could see it pop. And at that point, I was like, oh no, dude, that is not good. But
that is
they're saying it's a MCL sprain, not a ACL, not a meniscus. So it's one of the. If you're gonna have a knee injury, that'd be what you want. He's not out. No,
you just want a bruised knee, dude.
Well, yeah, obviously, but
it could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse. I mean, he could have been out for the season. He's gonna be out, hopefully minimum 3-4 weeks. But in those 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to Nashville to see the Packers play the Titans.
Chat, let's put in the comment section, was Skylar crying while he was scrolling on Twitter, looking at those videos of Jordan Love? I think he was, but he just doesn't want to admit it. I think he was crying.
You can say what you want. Nobody's going to have any evidence. So,
hey, perception is reality. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, we lost 0-1. Love out 3 to 4 weeks. Not
ideal.
Not what I was
isn't
for.
The stretch like pretty? Are they tough games, or like you need to win them? Like, so it would help if you want them.
I mean, any game helps when you win. But we got the Colts coming to Lambeau. Anthony Richardson, he scored a lot on fantasy. Didn't get the win against the Texans this week. It was a close game. Threw 1 or 2 picks, I think. But the Colts are going to be coming in. Hopefully our defense has a game plan. We don't have any injuries on the defensive side of the ball, so that's good. I think it'll be Malik Willis getting the start.
Field will be a little more grippy.
Yeah. What was it? Is that a pause? No, but
I'm dead ass though. I mean, the field will be more.
The field should be better. Yes.
Yeah.
The field should be better. The Colts are used to playing on turf. I don't know if it was in Indy or Houston this past week, but both of those are domes with turf. So them being on natural grass, maybe the Colts slip a little bit and not the Packers. But who knows, man? The Colts are favored by 3.5 at this point in the week. We'll see what happens, I guess. But I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be keeping up with it. Not sure how it's gonna go. I would say Malik Willis is gonna be our starting quarterback. We may pull. We're gonna have to pull a quarterback from our practice squad. More than likely, Sean Clifford. He's been with us for 2 years now.
Next Tom Brady, clip it.
Yeah, we drafted him out of Penn State a couple years ago, but he's somebody that has been in the system for a couple years. He's looked good in the preseason. He's looked bad in the preseason. Hadn't had any like meaningful snaps in real games. So I would say Malik Willis has more experience than Sean Clifford. But Sean Clifford has more experience in the offense than Malik does. So,
are you saying Malik for NFL MVP?
I mean, who knows, dude? I've seen crazier stuff happen.
Have you really? What's something crazier? Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What's something crazier than Malik Willis winning the NFL MVP?
The Patriots beating the Bengals this week.
Oh, okay. Honestly, that's fair. That's fair. You pulled that one straight out. That was fair.
No, but like we said earlier, the Bengals always start off slow. It wasn't really a surprise to me. Shout out Gerard Mayo, Vol for Life, head coach of New England now. Got some big shoes to fill, but after Belichick left. But looking into, let's get past the Packers, I guess. We'll look into week 2 of the NFL season. Starting off Thursday night football, the Dolphins host the Bills. Dolphins favored 2.5.
It's going to be a good game.
It'll be a good game. The Bills looked slow coming out, but they ended up getting the win.
They were down pretty good, right? Well, I forgot what they were down exactly by, maybe 17-3.
They played the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So,
but they came right back. I mean,
shout out Kyler Murray helping my parlay hit with a touchdown pass. But we also have a few more games this week. The Titans host the Jets. Aaron Rodgers coming to Nashville, favored by 4.5. That line may change after tonight's game when the Jets play at San Francisco Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
But we've already talked about the Chiefs hosting the Bengals. The Cowboys host the Saints. The Saints look pretty damn good.
Yeah. And Alvin Kamara, didn't he have a touchdown? He had like 100 at least 100 yards is what I saw. I didn't see anything more.
I think Alvin Kamara is back. Cowboys are still favored 6.5 in Jerry World at Dallas. So
what a joke.
we may. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to bet that game. It wouldn't surprise me if the Saints covered, but
Saints are going to win.
You think? You think so? You think?
Look, I'm not the most accurate. I was obviously wrong about the Ravens beating the Chiefs, which came on a toe. Okay, that was a 1-inch difference, right? And they were going to go for 2, and they may have gotten it. Okay, Lamar did miss an open pass. Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
I had Ravens +3.
That's fair.
So that toe, not counting for that touchdown, made me miss because they would have, if they got the touchdown, they were going for 2. Either they lose by 1 or they win by 1. So my bet hits either way. So I lost money on the toe.
At least it was close. I mean, both teams are going to get better throughout the season, the Ravens and the Chiefs. So
for sure.
I'm excited to see what the playoff implications are.
Packers host the Colts. Indianapolis favored -3.5. We'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting game for Sunday Night Football. The Texans host the Bears. It'll be C.J. Stroud versus Caleb Williams.
Did he look good? Did C.J. Stroud look good? I didn't watch the game.
I didn't watch that game either. They beat the Colts, so both teams 1-0 coming in. Texans favored -6.5, expected to win by a touchdown. That'll be Sunday Night Football.
It's been a good 2 weeks. I mean,
I'd say the Texans win that game. I don't know if they cover. Bears defense looked pretty good, but they were playing the Titans offense, gifting Will Levis as Santa Claus.
Hey guys, here's a touchdown.
Throwing them presents.
Pitching, tossing.
Yeah.
That was not a throw. I'm sorry, that's just not a throw.
He did throw another interception at the very end on the last drive.
What if Will Levis was the Packers' backup QB? How would you feel about that?
I would rather have Malik Willis.
See, there's always a positive to look like. At least you don't have Will Levis, right?
One thing about the Packers is they always get the quarterback right. So we went out and we didn't like what we saw from our 2 backup quarterbacks in the preseason. We went out and got another quarterback in Malik Willis that they, I guess, saw something from. The Titans didn't want him. We traded a 6th-round draft pick for him. So we went out and got him. For this to happen, we would have liked to, if it were to happen, hopefully Malik Willis was going to be in our system for a few weeks, get it down, get the routine down, and now he's just going to be thrown to the fire. So we'll see.
We'll see how that goes. I mean, obviously the conditions will be better, and
hopefully.
You just have to take it one game at a time with your backup, you know what I mean?
And the last game of the week, Monday Night Football, the Eagles host the Falcons.
Atlanta sports are kind of cooked at the moment. I mean, you got the Hawks, their situation, they're trying to get rid of Trae Young. They can't get him anywhere. And the Falcons haven't been relevant since they lost the Super Bowl.
They gave so much money to Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury. They lost to Pittsburgh in week 1. And they not only did they give all that money and a multiple-year contract to Kirk Cousins, then they had a top 10 draft pick, and they drafted a quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. So Falcons fans were not happy about that.
Atlanta fans in general. I'm sorry, guys. Is Atlanta? Are the Atlanta Braves good? Is there anything that y'all can look forward to?
I mean, the Braves did win the World Series a couple years ago. That I don't know. I mean, we've already talked about MLB. We don't watch it. We don't care about it. The Braves are my team, but not enough to actually keep up with them. So,
okay. Well, guys, I'm sorry if you're from Atlanta and you like Atlanta football and Atlanta basketball. You can look forward to Georgia college football.
Yeah, that is one thing that they
about
got.
It.
But the Eagles are favored 6.5 against the Falcons. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
No need to talk about that game too much because, as we've learned, we record on Monday. We still got the Monday Night Football game coming up, so we'll record again before that game takes place. But
we record on Monday, and then we record again on Tuesday. No.
Well, we did last week, but trying out a new little setup here, by the way.
Yeah, let us know how y'all like it, or if you hate it. Please unsubscribe, by the way. I meant to say that.
We're up to 20. That's way too much.
That's too much, dude. Come on. Stop. Dislike the video. Don't share it and unsubscribe. And we will disable comments. So it's been a good episode, guys. Thank y'all for coming out. I did see Beetlejuice last night, the second movie in the Beetlejuice cinematic universe.
I just feel like if I were to watch I've never seen Beetlejuice.
Oh, they're so good.
Dude, I feel like that's the type of movie that would give me nightmares.
Dude, it's
just
not,
how weird it is.
It's not that scary. Skylar, if
it's not in a scary sense, but just in a what the hell am I looking at sense.
Well, if once you get in there and you realize it's funny and all that stuff, it's good. I mean, Ben, the Miami Dolphins fan, him and his girl, they walked out of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. I invited him to come with us, and it was downtown. It was a little further than what he wanted to go, so that was fine. But they went out, and he said that they walked out halfway through the movie, and I was like, dude, I just thought it was so funny. And he just said it felt like they were just trying to promote the brand of Beetlejuice, whatever the hell that means. So, I mean, I thought it was a good movie, and you can't go into it too serious.
Shout out Ben sticking up for what he believes in.
Hey, Ben and his core values, man, me and him, we vibe on that. But I didn't walk out. I mean, I enjoyed it.
So did y'all not sit together? Did you not see him walk out?
No. The thing is, we went downtown to watch it, and he lives out in West Knoxville.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, did you mean downtown West? And I was like, no, I meant like downtown. And he was like, oh, okay. So I could tell he kind of didn't want to come because there's a little bit of a drive. Like I get it. Yeah. And then the whole theater actually was packed. So the actual reason he didn't come was there was actually no seats to sit next to us. So it would have been like him and his girl in front of everyone. Yeah. Like it would have been kind of awkward anyway. So I guess it worked out fine because he hated it. So I don't hate it. I thought Beetlejuice was really good. I'm a big was it
Tim Burton?
Tim Burton, yeah, he's a great director, I guess. But I'm more of a is it Wyoma Ryder? I think she's in Stranger Things. I'm more of a Winona Ryder. I'm a fan of her. So I mean, it was and Michael Keaton. You know Michael Keaton?
I know the name.
He was 1989 Batman, and in Spider-Man Homecoming, he was the
like, sand guy.
No, he wasn't the sand guy. He was like the Vulture, is what he was.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, he's just a great actor, and he was Beetlejuice in the first one. So I mean, 30, 40 years later, he's picking it back up.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, I think. Well, it was a great experience. I'd go watch it. Don't watch Afraid, that AI movie. It's so dumb. Don't watch it.
Was that the one you were shitting on last week?
Yeah, I just can't get over how bad it was.
So you like Beetlejuice more than that one?
No shit. No, dude. That shit, I mean, Afraid was just awful, guys. Don't check it out.
Don't check it out. Unsubscribe.
I loved
Thumbs
it.
down.
10 out of 10. Unsubscribed. No, I'm gonna check out Joker though when that comes out. And
yeah, that's one. It looks like a musical.
It is a musical with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix.
One thing about me, I freaking hate musicals.
That's fair. I think they do it to where it's not like da 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 da. Like all of a sudden the whole backdrop just pops out. But I think it's gonna be a different kind of musical, and I'm always willing to see what they got because that first one was really good.
Joaquin Phoenix.
He's the real deal.
He does it right.
Yeah. He never does sequels, and you know this one was written good, and obviously the vision was on par because he came back for a sequel, and that never happened.
Yeah.
So can't wait to see that. I'm also going to see Speak No Evil. I don't know if I want to see it or more I'm just forced to.
Is that the one where the family like goes up to the whatever mountain house?
Yeah, like
what's that guy's name?
I forgot.
Jeremy.
I forgot his name, but he James something. But it's this couple. They meet a family, and then they're like, "You need to come out to our to the country with us, to like their country home, I guess." They come out, and all of a sudden things just get super weird. I could probably tell you the movie.
James McAvoy
just came.
Did
I say James?
Yeah, you said
okay.
James.
Okay, I thought it was James. So they come out to the country. I could probably tell you the whole plot of the movie because I've seen the trailer 15 times.
Yeah.
I swear they've been promoting this movie for months. And there's this kid does some weird scissor shit, and all of a sudden James McAvoy is, laughing and crying at the same time. I don't know. I'll let y'all know how it goes. I think it's going to be coming out, and we'll see it by the time we do the podcast next week. So,
nice.
Shout out Regal Unlimited.
Yeah.
It's been a good episode, Skyler.
You have a song you want everybody to listen to? $1 Million Radio Song of the Week.
Yes. So my pick this week is Goliath by the band Carnival.
Okay.
So it's spelled Karnivool. Carnival.
Carnival.
Yeah. Carnival. And the song's Goliath. It's in a really cool time signature. So, usually songs are in 4/4 or they're in 3/4. Dun, 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 dun. But this one is in, just take a guess. What is, just take
7/8.
Okay. It's in 27/4.
How do you even count that?
So it does three things of 7/8, right? Or 7/4, maybe something like that. So that's 21/4, and it does 1/6/4.
Okay.
So 21 plus 6 is 27. So it's in 27/4.
Nice.
Once you get it down, like if you listen to the song and you're like, dun, dun, you can actually count with it. And
yeah,
I kind of can play the drums to it. Like once you hear the song, the drums are pretty cool with it.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the best uses of a weird time signature I've ever heard. I mean, you don't hear songs in 27/4 sound that good. The whole song is just glue. I mean, you have to listen to it. So Goliath by Carnival.
Nice. So my pick would be a band called Belmont. Have you heard of Belmont?
No. Are they from Nashville?
No, they're from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's not like mathcore, but it's got like a mathcore / punk rock / I don't know.
Okay.
Like they're nice. They're a pretty not like light hardcore, nothing like super crazy, but they got a album that just came out. What is the name of the album? Song is called Counterfeit.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the album.
Finally.
But yeah.
Counterfeit by who?
Belmont. That is my song of the week. It's a good song. It kind of reminds me of like the old NCAA games where it wasn't just like marching band music. It was like they actually had songs, like more rock songs. It sounds like something that would be on that type of playlist. And it's a good song. And then towards the end, the music cuts out and you just hear like a mic in a studio where they're talking about what the breakdown should be. And they're like, what if we do like a dun 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 dun.
No way.
And then
no way.
They do that with their with they're talking about it, and then right when that cuts out, the breakdown actually hits.
Dude, that's
it's
sick.
nice.
It's like
nice.
Did it. It's like that. Okay, that's cool.
It's pretty dope.
I'm gonna check that out. That's really cool.
Counterfeit by Belmont. That is my $1 million song.
You know what did go hard? I know we're about to wrap it up, but that reminds me. Video games and stuff like that. Remember Monday Night Raw when Papa Roach would come in?
Dude, yeah. Yeah,
dude, that and like Nickelback, Burn It to the Ground.
Did you ever play those games?
Yeah, hell
SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah,
Dude,
2007. Like
Triple H on the cover.
That was so that was so crazy. Oh, that was a good time. And the games just aren't the same anymore. If I'm being honest,
I haven't played one of those games.
I've not either. But like playing it, I've played it like recent enough to know that they aren't the same as what they were. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. I don't know if it's us growing up or if it's the games changing. But
it's not as nostalgic. Not the same wrestlers in there.
Carlito coming out with the apple, bro, is crazy.
Yeah, and Bobby Lashley back in the day.
He's back in WWE too.
Oh, is he?
Did you not know that? Yeah, he came back a few years ago.
Nice.
He became like a really good character in TNA. Impact Wrestling TNA. TNA WWE actually made a tag team group called TNA. Tits and ass is what it stood
nice.
for. It was trying to like make fun of TNA. So, fun fact. We'll talk about more wrestling another time.
Oh, the album name just came to me. It's called Liminal. Liminal by Belmont. So great album, but the song's called Counterfeit.
Counterfeit by who?
Belmont.
Okay.
Like the university.
On the album Liminal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means, but
I forgot what the album Carnival's Goliath is on, but it's a blue cover. It maybe I forgot what it's called. I'm not even gonna try to guess.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you for tuning into this episode.
Absolutely.
And we gotta give a shout out to our own Skylar. He edits these things. I can't thank him enough. Hey, Skylar, point it back to me. All right.
Shit.
So
hit my mic.
I just wanted to say,
just because you said that, I'm gonna edit it where it shows me.
I just wanted to say thank you though, man. I mean, it is clutch. He makes all the shorts. I try to help as much as I can, like sending stuff to him, but there's only so much I can do without the file. But I just want to show appreciation to Skylar Skip. He's the man. He's a great videographer, great video editor. He's also a great audio engineer. He works with Jackson Avenue, and Jackson Avenue kicks ass. So
absolutely.
Check out Wither by Jackson Avenue, by the way.
Shout out Wes. Shout out Owen. Owen's a freaking dog, man. And new singer Zach. Yeah. He's I'm excited for what we got cooking up.
Yeah.
We should have some songs coming out by the end of the year.
They're all real ones, man.
We record the podcast on Monday around lunch, and then Tuesday morning Jackson comes over. And then
y'all cook up some shit.
We cook up. We cook up as much as we can from like 10 to 2 in the day. And
Wes goes hard in those sessions.
Yeah, dude.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been on the receiving end. No, it's worth it though. It gets good.
Wes is a perfectionist, and he knows what he wants, and
that's awesome. Like when I'm in a band and someone tells me an idea or something, and I do something they don't like it frustrates me. But with Wes, he'll tell you what he wants and like how he wants it done, but he's collaborative about it. He's like, you can change some stuff, but like he knows what he wants. So it's like you kind of like laid it out for him.
Wes is definitely the mastermind behind Jackson Avenue for sure.
He is Jackson Avenue. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for everything we got coming up in the music scene, and
I got my band. We'll be coming out in a little bit.
Nice.
And we're gonna do some shows with Jackson. It's gonna be some fun times, man.
Nice.
And Tennessee Love Connection.
Also, I think I got told that Jackson booked a gig at the Holistic Connection.
Dope. Literally dope.
Think that THC. Man, I've been there a couple times and had one of those infused drinks.
Oh God, I bet you were sent.
Dude, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But that's a really cool spot to go to. So they got a show, I think it's Saturday night, September 28th, which is the bye week for Tennessee.
Perfect.
So
that's awesome.
Come out to THC, the Holistic Connection, Saturday night, September 28th. Don't know the set times and all that. Wes just told me, I think last week, that they got it booked up. So, a lot of things to look forward to. Football season is in full swing.
Seasons, baby.
Seasons, college, NFL.
Basketball will be starting up in a few weeks. Yeah. Very excited about that. And that's my expertise. I'm a casual at football. Y'all could definitely tell. Or did I say casual at football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a casual at football. But basketball, a little more in depth. So we're gonna have some fun episodes, but that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Please tune in next week. We're gonna be posting some clips and hopefully some little episodes in between of these.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at MD Minds. MD Minds. So this has been $1 Million Radio, episode 3. Thank y'all for watching. Can't thank you enough for the views and the subscribers and followers we've gotten over the last couple weeks. Just stay tuned. We'll have more coming, and this is going to be an every week thing as it has been the last couple. So a lot to look forward to, and stay tuned. We'll be back. See you next time.